I'm Grian Chatten, I'm 23, I come from Ireland, Dublin, and I sing in a band called Fontaines D.C.
You're not alive until you start kicking, when the room is spinning and the words aren't sticking. And the radio's all about a runaway model with a face like sin.
My parents met in an Irish bar in Germany, in Hanover, and they're both kind of part of groups that would cover traditional Irish music, like by the Dubliners and the Pogues and stuff. My dad's kind of like into more kind of like lyrically minded, and he's more into like literature and poetry and stuff like that. He's got a great taste in music as well, but my mother is very much kind of like interested in really kind of cool sounds, and like she introduced me to bands like The Cure and Pixies and stuff like that. And then when I was about probably 9, about the same time that I started picking up a guitar and playing drums and stuff, my dad would, like I loved football, you know what I mean? I wanted to play football for Liverpool when I was a kid. And then my dad, he'd buy me football stickers, but only if I learned a poem off by heart. So every time I learned a poem, he bought me football stickers. So I just learned loads of poems and got loads of football stickers and collected enough for the whole book, you know. So that's how we got into poetry and then literature. You're a cluster of nothing, you are beauty for the sake. How dare you go about living as a relic from a dream, as the sky shutters down on the antiquated scene, and the room full of mirrors on the television screen.
You're a cluster of nothing, you are beauty for the sake. How dare you go about living as a relic from a dream, as the sky shutters down on the antiquated scene, the room full of mirrors on the television screen, on the television screen, on the television.
Yeah, I went to New York about 6 years ago with my mum and dad and my little brother for about 4 days. And when I was over there, I started listening to the Pogues again. The Pogues, since then, have been probably the most important band to me in my life. And Shane MacGowan is the most important, one of the most important artists, you know, in my life. He's got such a mad heightened awareness of a heightened sensitivity towards human beings and their feelings, and sort of like he's able to draw the pain out of anyone, you know what I mean?
Last time I saw you was down at the Greeks. There was whiskey and Sunday and tears in her cheeks. You sang me a song that was pure as the breeze and a road leading up Glenavee.
The boys are full of laughter and their pocket with the pound. And in the foggy dew I saw you throwing shapes around.
Cripplingly self-aware, thereby stunted.
It was underneath the waking of the Dublin city sky.
It has to feel authentic, like, you know what I mean? I would never use an expression or a colloquialism that I wouldn't necessarily use in real life, you know? But you know, that being said, like when I say it has to be authentic, it doesn't have to be necessarily like, it doesn't have to be about me if I write it, but it has to be said in a way that I would talk, you know. We're all going to college around this area of Dublin called the Liberties, which is a fairly well preserved area. It's the least gentrified area of Dublin at the moment, I think. So there's a lot of old there, you know. So we started hanging around, and we started drinking in all the bars around there. Like one of the bars is called the Liberty Bell, and which became a song title. We started drinking around there, and then we all realised that we all had a kind of like an interest in poetry that we would have been previously shy to discuss with other friends, you know. So we started encouraging each other to talk about that and to write about that. And then also we become very excited with incorporating influences that you might not necessarily think might be in the tunes. Like the Beach Boys are one of our favourite bands collectively, you know. And I think we incorporate that into Checklist Reckless, like, you know, there's like a surfy guitar riff and stuff. We just wanted to be different. We didn't want to make kind of background music. We wanted to make music that sort of said something. But ultimately, I think we all just had a bit of a pain in our hearts, you know, because of all the things that we'd seen and experienced, and we just wanted to get rid of it, you know, or use it, which is kind of the same thing.
All across the nation, all across the nation, all across the nation.
The main thing for us is to continue writing songs because that's where we feel like we're alive, you know. I just like to explore a lot of different kinds of music. Like we like experimenting with harmonies, you know. We'll probably be doing a lot more of that. I don't necessarily want to like be a band that just writes about Dublin all the time, you know. And this is very much a Dublin album. I'd have to continue creating stuff. I'd like to write a book, you know. I'd like to write a novel. I mean, as far as like putting together a collection of poetry.
Put the boys in the better land. You're always talking about the boys in the better land. The boys in the better land.